For TraderInsight.com, I'm Julie Mans. This is a midday report for January 23rd, Wednesday. Happy New Year, everybody. We are getting back to our daily videos, and I want to show you 5 ways we made money in our trading room in the first hour trading room. Sometimes hour to 15 minutes. One just closed out, but 5 different ways on a plan, all planned out the night before, except for one, the Baltimore Chop, which those trades come in the morning and we work those. I'm going to show you one of those too. First, let's look at ABM. This was on the original Around the Horn trading plan. This is all planned out the night before, where you get in, where you get out. The entry was a short at $34.99. It made it 50% to the target at $34.76. Put that right here. And at this point, we move our stop to break even so that it's a risk-free trade. Just chugged along down to the target at $34.52. You can see that. You had plenty of time to get out, hung around that level for a long time. Let me show you a 6th way you could have made money this morning if you'd entered this trade, and some of our traders did, here up at the central pivot. So if you entered from, let's say, the $35.50 level, just to be conservative, you made that extra 50 cents before you went on and made the next 50 cents. And one of our traders, Mike, in the room, I think Mike is a general enough name that we could say he reported to have made $1 in that trade. So that was a great trade for this morning and right off the trading plan. There were only 2 on that portion of the trading plan and the other one didn't hit at all. So you had nothing but opportunity there. So let's go on to the second part of that regular trading plan, which is called Stocks to Watch. We're going to look at BPL. This on the Stocks to Watch section of the plan. These are trades that there wasn't a great stop the night before, so it's kind of a mechanical stop. Obviously didn't hit that. The morning had opened higher, so a lot of these opened higher even though we were looking to the short side. So you can see over here on the daily, it opened a little bit higher. So if I go over here on the intraday, our entry from the night before, again, 30.81, that was the entry. Nice, clear, easy entry. 30.61, that was your 50% to target, never went back and stopped you at a break even. But at this point, again, your trade is risk-free. That's how we plan them out. And then 30.41 right here is your target. Look at that. He's a genius. Actually, he's a genius. So those were 2 beautiful trades. There were 3 in that portion of the plan. I'm going to pull the plan over and show you in a second. The third part of the plan is called Stocks and Sectors. This is if the sector goes with you. We had one of our favorite stocks on there. This is Harley-Davidson. It's one of our favorite stocks. Here you can see we had a entry here at 36.01. This was to be a really quick scalp down to 35.75. And you can see it made that move. But look at this move. The morning opened higher. HOG traded higher. You can see really pretty much to these resistance levels from yesterday. Came down, came through the central pivot. This is not where I would have taken the stock for an early entry. But when it stayed around these levels and then tried to push up back through and couldn't do that and move down, this was a beautiful entry. I did not get that entry. I told my guys in the trading room, you're supposed to help me out here. So this move down here from, say, 36, let's say even 50 to be conservative, down through 36, another 50 cents on a pivot trade. These pivot trades are the 6th way we make money on trades that are planned out from the night before that have pulled back to certain resistance levels. So that's fun. And then it went ahead and did make the 25-cent scalp. So here's the plan that was put out last night. If you were on this trading service, you would have had, here's ABM. Those are the levels I told you about. Here are the stocks to watch. This is the second portion where there's a max stop, which is a mechanical stop. This is a support and resistance stop up on Around the Horn. Down here, there were 3 on the plan. BPL was the winner on that one. And HOG down here on Stocks and Sectors. Again, right here, you see the scalp. That's a stop. So it's sort of the way that this Around the Horn plan goes is it goes from most planned out to least planned out. So according to where you are in your trading adventure, career, you can move through these as you feel more comfortable and more confident in your skills with your trading software as well as your skills in the decision making. So that's cool. That is one of our trading plans. I'm going to show you the next one. All right, the next plan we put out, and this is for people who are confident in their trading skills and they like to see things move rather quickly. This is a very limited plan, very few people on this. This is uber secret backdoor plan, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. So this is called XRV for expanded range and volume. And we had 3 for today, ATI, GRUB, and WB. So let me show you those. So the game plan with these, as we do not give you an exact entry, it is above yesterday's high. That way not everyone is trying to get into these stocks at the exact same penny. When things were more like a nickel or things are spread a little bit, it's better if traders don't all try and pile in at once as if it were one giant block trade. So in any case, your level is around 25.80 for your entry. We like to see $1 or to the next pivot level. You can see ATI opened and went steadily up to its dollar target, went a little bit further before pulling back. Beautiful trade. So I'm currently in GRUB. This is the second one on the XRV plan. It is a short, somewhere below here at 74.37 is your entry. We have very wide stops on this. This is why it's more of an advanced plan. Let me move the chart down so you can see what we're headed for. We're looking down for this pivot. It has been, I'd say about a third of the way to that target. We're looking somewhere down here. We like to use price by volume, so I'll be looking over here. And I've got a stop up here at the pivot, looking for a move down to this pivot. If it moves about 50%, I'll pull that stop back down somewhere up in here. So that's opportunity, and we are in it. Here is over here on the daily. You can see how that's looking. We're looking for this to move down to this range in here. Last one on that plan was WB. It has not hit an entry threshold for us. That would be somewhere down here around 51.80. So that is just bumping along the bottom. We'll see if that hits. Sometimes these do hit later in the day, but you can capture these even if you are doing something else, golfing or a day job. Hopefully you're golfing instead. But you can capture those with a bracket order and let those run. We have traders that do that too. All right, so that's the XRV plan. Totally different thing on its own. They move quickly, they move big, and you can ask us about that if you're interested. All right, the third strategy we do, and this is first thing in the morning and for people who want to just trade for the first half hour and be done with it, we have a really great strategy. This is also a strategy you don't have to trade every day. You can check in on the days you want to. It's not dependent on other days. Some of these other things, when they're trading plans, they are dependent on the utilizing most all of those days, right? Getting all the trades. This one is really pretty much a day-by-day trading strategy that is first thing in the morning. We call it the Baltimore Chop. It's a proprietary gap trade. And there's a certain way we do that. I want to show you one of these IBM that we traded today, and we called out in the room. Our trading room is primarily a Baltimore Chop trading room, so everyone in there is looking at these. It's also a support room for our mastermind members, but it's open to all the Baltimore Chop folks. And what you get is what we do is we have the scans cup up first thing in the morning. You know that you don't know what's going to gap until the market actually gaps, right? So this is the only one that's a little bit more seat of your pants, but we run them very structured. Even though the trades come on, we have about 5 minutes to decide which ones are good. So there were several, I think about 6 this morning that were up there, and we were working the trades to find out the best one. We were in IBM. We're looking for a pullback, and then we are looking to get in below the low of the last bar once it starts to pull back in the direction of the gap. So we're looking for it to fade the gap, and IBM was beautiful. So you can see there's entries up here at the 133.90 level, and it traded down to target levels that were down here around where the volume was. Easily there was $1 in this trade and potentially more. There were a couple other of those that people took and a couple different entries. We have a course on this this plan, and there's also a scanner that can go with it that you can do this alone in the comfort of your own home, first half hour of the morning, or you can come and join us in the room, either way. Okay, and finally, those were 5 trades that were made today that were in 5 different sections of a plan, 3 all on one plan, 1 on the XRV, 2 on Baltimore Chop. The third one is Baltimore Chop. The fourth one is our scalper set. I didn't even talk about this. We look at Apple almost every day. Our bias on Apple today was short, but Apple is really one of those things you have to look at during the day. We look at the pre-market and see what's happening, and several of our traders who are trained on doing this particular trade, it's called a NASDAQ scalper trade, and it's with the NASDAQ super caps. We capitalized on some of our Apple trades today. Let me show you that one. So this morning, Apple shot out a pre-market. I don't have that up here, but if you could see it, it shot up above levels. In fact, let me put it on here. Hold on. All right, here it is with the pre-market. You can see this is before this volume here. This all is pre-market. So I'm watching this, and I'm seeing here's sort of a top. When it shot out of this area pre-market, I was looking to see what was going to happen. So we popped up to here. If you're confident in your scalping skills, that might be a trade you take. It might also not be a trade you take because what we were waiting for is the short side. Came up here, made this pattern that Adrian calls an infield fly. If you have his book, Around the Horn, there are several patterns in there that sort of get you around the entire market cycle of consolidation and expansion. And infield fly is one of those. So those also work on intraday bars. So on this 5-minute bar, you can see it starts to head down. I also found it very interesting that we were at the 155 level, and this pause happened when there was some negative news about sales right about 20 cents earlier. That sort of a scenario says to us that there might be someone at 155, a big seller that wants to get out of that, and it paused at that level regardless of what was going on and came back on down to the pivot level. Below the level that it had broken out of earlier, this would be my initial target, breaks through the pivot, then you're trailing that a little bit and you could have ridden it quite a ways down. So that is our scalper program. So that is just an example of the 3 or 4 different ways and the variations within those ways of how we are trading for a living. We find it takes several different types of trades to create enough opportunity every day for you to feel comfortable, but these things all work together and we work with them in our trading room and with our mastermind students. I hope that was interesting, and if you are one of our mastermind students, I hope you got some of these trades this morning. If you have any questions, email me, julie@traderinsight.com. I hope you're having a great trading day. Hope you had a day as good as ours.